Hello beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dina, aka Adventures with Fibro, and oh, that's Jordy, baby boy, come here. So I am at home in Alberta visiting my parents, and the dog has an eye situation. He was sleeping, so I thought I could record right now. Hi baby, come here. You might hear him hitting his cone. He has an ulcer in his eye. Okay, anyway. Welcome to a chaotic start. I am a 40-year-old living downtown Toronto, but sometimes I visit my parents in Alberta. This is where I grew up. Small town Alberta. I just wanted to do a recap and a reset. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. This is crazy. It's crazy that we're here. First of all, how were your New Year's? What did you get up to? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. I had a very chill night with my dad. We didn't do much, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. So 2024 was a big year for me. I turned 40, and my whole life I had dreamt about hiking the Inca Trail. My whole life, from college. From college, I had dreamed about hiking the Inca Trail, and then I ended up meeting the right people along my life who made that trip happen for me. I'm a big dreamer. I'm not great at making those dreams happen. And I've been very blessed along the way to have people in my life who help me make those dreams happen. Because if I was left to my own devices, I don't know that I would have done half of the things that I've done. So we had a big trip down to Peru, as you probably have seen, in August for 3 weeks, where we did some incredible things and ended up hiking the iconic Inca Trail for 4 days, up to 14,000 feet. It's incredible, and I made a whole video series about that. I also did a second triathlon this last year, and where you had to jump out of the side of a ferry into the water, and I passed out. I have no memory of jumping into the water, and that was a little scary. I won't be doing that one this year just because of timing, but I do know that I need to go and conquer that one again. A 4-year relationship ended. I'm not mad about it. I do grieve it a little bit, but I know it was 100% for the best, and I learned a lot of things about myself and about what I want and don't want in a partner moving forward. And there were some really beautiful times that I look back on fondly, but it is a good thing that this relationship ended. What else happened? I did a couple of 5Ks, nothing major. I had done my first marathon the year before, so I was very light in that. I did the Polar Rush, which is a winter obstacle course that I do every single year with my friend Patricia, and I did my first long distance biking course, which was a lot of fun. We did 50K. I think this next year I might aim for 75K. It was a lot of fun. Those were the big highlights. The lowlights would be my mom finally had to move into a home for Alzheimer's. She has advanced Alzheimer's, and is declining quite rapidly, but still remembers who I am. And we were very blessed that the home that she ended up in is basically a brand new facility. It's gorgeous, and the nurses there are absolutely incredible, and she has a really great community there. And when we go visit, we talk to not just her, but a lot of the other residents who are for the most part really fun, great people. A couple of them yell at us. That's okay. We're used to it at this point, but you get to know the community, and she is in the safest, best place that she can be. The week that my mom moved into the home, my dad had surgery for kidney cancer, and they took out half of one of his kidneys, and that was it. He didn't have to go through chemo or anything like that, and we were told that he was fine, everything was good, and the surgeon wanted to see him back in a year. So as hard as that time was, all good things ultimately, but Dad had a hard time because, he was without his wife for the first time in 53 years and recovering from the surgery. I came home to help out. So that was the start of the hard. So a quick family update. I am 99% sure this year is going to be the year that Mom forgets who I am. just based on how she's going, how she's declining. She still knows who I am at this moment, which is really great, but she can barely put together a coherent sentence, and you just kind of have to meet her where she's at. So visiting her, I really just try to focus on making her laugh and feel safe. And she loves to tell me over and over that I'm a good human, and I really appreciate that, but it's hard. It's emotionally really hard, and my mom was one of my best friends, and I genuinely miss who she was and the relationship that we had, and being able to, you know, call her and talk to her, and I can't do that. The only time I can talk to her is when I'm here, and it's challenging. It's challenging. She is doing as well as she can be on this awful journey. Like I say, she's in the safest, best place she can be. So that's good. Then things started to decline again a couple of months ago with Dad. It was at the end of the summer. At the end of the summer, things started to decline again. And he had surgery back in November. I came home again for that. The surgery went well, but it was kind of exploratory surgery to find out what was going on. And I'm not going to harp on this because this is challenging and I'm still kind of wrapping my mind around it. He has a very aggressive bladder cancer, and it's also in his prostate. So this time around, he will be going through chemo. I won't be able to be here to help him out. So that's challenging. It's hard to prep him because he doesn't want to talk about it. Which I understand, you know. He has to go through 3 months of chemo, and then he has to get his bladder and his prostate removed. And so it's a huge surgery. And in order to safely make it through all of those, he has to stop smoking, which he has smoked for 70 plus years of his life, and just get more active. And so on today, January 1st, he is quitting smoking, and he's going to start walking on the treadmill, and, you know, and so we're doing the best that we can to support him through this really challenging time. But there's also heavy conversations, obviously, that we're having right now, and we've had a lot of these conversations. I mean, he's close to 80, and so we've had a lot of these conversations already. Things are put in place, you know, but it's just, there are a couple of more conversations that need to be had between him, my brother, and I, and it's a challenging time. Within 24 hours of finding that out, I found out that I got into the Chicago Marathon. So it was very much a roller coaster. And getting into the Chicago Marathon is a huge thing for me, but also my reaction was, oh, F, because I know how much work it takes to do a marathon, and I don't know that I'm going to have the mental fortitude this year. But at the same time, I look at it as a huge blessing because I can't allow myself to crumple, you know, which I very much want to. So it's exciting and scary. Within a couple of hours of finding out that I had gotten in, my friend Shannon already bought her way in and like has our hotel booked, and has already told me she's coming to run with me, which is, she's such an incredible human. Again, I just have these beautiful people in my life who just help make life better, and I am incredibly blessed in that way. There are 4 ways to get into the Chicago Marathon. It's one of the 7 majors. There used to be 6 majors, now there's 7. They just added Sydney Marathon into the mix. Chicago is one of the easiest ones to get into. So you can get into it via lottery, which is how I got in. I just luck of the draw. It costs nothing to apply, but if you get pulled, your credit card is immediately charged. You can get in via time. I will never get in via time. I am a back of the packer, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. You can get in via raising money for charity through a charity partnership. That was my kind of backdoor plan, my second plan to get in, my plan B, that's the word I'm looking for. And you can get in, there's a handful of slots that you can get into via a travel agent where they're given a certain amount of, hi honey, they're given a certain amount of entrances, and also you can book your hotel through them. So you kind of purchase a package. Yeah, like that. So it's a baby boy. Come here, honey. Come here. Oh, honey. So that's how Shannon got in, and we will be running together, which is really great. I low-key have 3 other trips planned this year. I low-key am planning a trip to New York, but I don't know if that will actually happen. I'm trying to hike to Mount Assiniboine, which is in between, it's basically on the border of Alberta and BC. It takes 2 days to hike out there, and then you spend a couple of days there, and then it takes 2 days to hike out. Because of time restraints with the friend that I want to do this with, we actually might helicopter in, which is a bucket list item for me. I've never been on a helicopter. But you can helicopter in, which takes 10 minutes as opposed to 2 days of hiking, and then spend more time at the actual mountain and in the park, and then 2 days out. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening. Booking the campsites might be challenging, especially based on the time that we have. So we'll see if that happens. That's kind of the second big thing that I want to do this year. I had wanted to go back to Peru. I wanted to do La Paz, which is in Bolivia, Lake Titicaca, back to Cusco and explore more of the Sacred Valley, and then to Lima. But with Dad's surgery, I just don't see that happening with everything that we have going on this year. So that's kind of on the back burner for now, but is definitely in my mind. Shannon and I also have a very loose plan to visit all 7 wonders of the world over the next 10 years. And we decided we should probably visit all 20 of the shortlisted ones just for fun. So again, dreaming, but Shannon's the type of person to make these things happen, so we'll see what happens there. But you all know I love to travel, and I will get better at my YouTube videos and I will take you along, so that could be fun. Moving forward over the next couple of months, you're gonna be seeing on this channel, you're gonna be seeing a lot of purging. Going into 2025, I knew I was either gonna be planning a wedding or redoing my apartment, and I'm redoing my apartment. And again, that is absolutely fine. So I have to purge a lot of my apartment. I also would like to paint. I'd like to put up some wallpaper, and you will be coming along for that ride. You will also be coming along as I train for the Chicago Marathon as a plus-sized runner with fibromyalgia. I will be working with a trainer. It's important to remember that all training plans are, especially from a trainer, are geared towards certain people. There are some generic ones out there that are great and you can absolutely do, and I absolutely recommend finding something that works for you. But please don't follow my specific training plan. That's just not recommended. He and I will be connecting at some time in January, and we will be starting on that journey, and I will take you along. I also plan on hitting a bunch of places in Toronto that are just really iconic and wonderful, like the Royal Ontario Museum, the Art Gallery, going up the CN Tower, heading out to the islands to explore, the Distillery District, Kensington Market, which is one of my favorite places, Castle Loma. Did you know there's a castle in Toronto? There is. I am hoping, my goal is to go to one of these places once a month, because I just need to get out of the house more and just kind of take some more time for me. And I genuinely like being a tourist in my own town. I didn't grow up in Toronto, so the novelty, even though I've lived there for almost 20 years, the novelty of these things hasn't worn off for me. I like going to these places, and because of one of the places that I work, I get into a lot of them for free. That's a whole other thing, but it's an exciting time for me. So moving forward, you're gonna see, again, a lot of purging, but also some adventures and travel when I get to it, and training for the Chicago Marathon. I obviously will share the harder parts of moving forward with my family, but I will be keeping some of that stuff more private as well, obviously. Goals for the channel are, I'd like to do a long form video like once a week. That's the goal. We'll see if that happens. And obviously, I mean, the goal is to monetize. And so fingers crossed that that happens eventually. That's the goal. Because like I say, I genuinely enjoy doing this, and yeah. Other smaller races I have, I'm going to be doing the winter obstacle course again. I always do the spring runoff, which is in High Park. And yeah, just more hiking. I want to get out and hike more you can actually do some hiking trails in Toronto proper, which is pretty great. But also getting out into outside of the city to do some more hiking would be really, really great. Another thing that I have going on is, as of next as of next Monday, I am going to be doing 75 hard. Now, I'm not going to be doing traditional 75 hard, okay? If you've heard of 75 hard, you know why I'm not doing the traditional one. But basically, 75 hard, the concept of 75 hard is you have to do all of these things that are supposed to better your life, and if you miss one of them one day, you have to reset. So you could be on day 74, and if you miss one of these things, you reset to day 1. And I like that concept. I really like that concept. And that's why Shannon and I are gonna be doing a 75 hard. But again, it's gonna be Dina's personal 75 hard, and Shannon's gonna do Shannon's personal 75 hard, and we're gonna keep each other accountable. But the traditional 75 hard is 2 workouts a day, minimum of 45 minutes. One of them has to be outside. You have to read 10 pages of a self-help book. You have to follow a diet. You have to drink a gallon of water. You have to take a progress pic every day, no alcohol. And based on the fact that I'm training for the marathon, I keep getting sick. And just timing with the jobs that I have, etc., that's not something that I mentally, and everything going on with my parents, that's not something that I mentally am prepared to do. So Shannon and I have done something like this a couple of times this last year, where we just kind of look at things that for us are gonna better our lives and help us stay the course. The one thing that I like about 75 hard is you can't rely on motivation, and that's huge. Motivation is gonna wane, it's gonna falter, and if you wanna genuinely get certain things in your life done, you have to be dedicated to them. You can't just rely on motivation, because motivation's not gonna be there every day. That can be hard. And over the past 4 months, I've been in such a funk that I've been like sitting there waiting for motivation to hit, and it just hasn't. And so it's time to kind of reset, get back into doing certain things in my life that I know are gonna better them and make me healthier in the long run, especially at 40. You know, your life as a woman, your life changes drastically when you hit 40. So it's time to start doing certain things and taking better care of myself. So here is my list. I wrote them down because you know how my memory is. Here's my list of Dina's 75 hard. And hey, Myra, go drink some water. I'm gonna journal once a day. Journaling is really helpful for me because I have so many thoughts swirling. When I get them out of my body and out onto paper or out to another human, that actually really helps me. So journaling is huge for me. Flossing. I don't floss, and that's something that I need to do. No takeout. That's where all of my money goes, and it's one of the easiest things to do in Toronto because I can get Thai food at like 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So no takeout, no ordering to my building. That's key. If I want to do takeout, I can go pick it up, but I can't order to my building because of the fees. Like, it's astronomical, and you spend so much money, you waste so much money doing that, and no more. I need to eat something for breakfast, even if it's just a banana, even if it's just a rice cake. Now, I have been learning more about perimenopause, etc. As women, you're supposed to actually eat a certain amount of protein in the morning. That's the ultimate goal, but for me right now, it's just eating something for breakfast. I forget to eat half the time, and I can definitely like go through the day and not eat until like 2 p.m., which is not ideal. So eating, even if it's just a couple of oranges, a banana, a rice cake, like I say, something in the morning right when I get up. Hopefully it'll be like an overnight oat situation if I can get on top of that, but something for breakfast. No excess spending. That's huge for me, especially going into this year with the trips that I want to do. I really need to get on top of that. So I have kind of a list of things that I'm allowed to buy. I need to get a new bra. I need to get a new sports bra. I bought some new Brooks already. I bought Tears of the Kingdom already, which was on my list. I do need to get new bookshelves, but I'm gonna wait for those to be on sale. Eventually, I'm gonna paint wallpaper, backsplash, and tiles for my floor, but that stuff's all gonna come after I purge. I have to purge first, and then I can do that. And again, I'm gonna only be buying things on sale. I need to tune my bike, and I need to replace my sleeping pad, which was stolen when my luggage was stolen in Peru. Those are the things that I'm allowed to buy this year. Beyond food and cat stuff, that's it. No, I don't need any clothes. But it's so easy to fall into, you know, the trap, right? I do have a couple of boots that need repairing. That's okay too, you know? Things like that. I need to stretch daily or get some sort of movement in. So even if it's a rest day, I still need to stretch, and I'm gonna put a time limit on that. I need to stretch for a minimum of 10 minutes, especially because basically the whole left side of my body needs to be just swapped out for something else. Like, I have a lot of issues with my left hip and my lower back on my left side in particular. And obviously stretching helps with that, but I just don't. I get home from work and I sit on the couch and I watch TV. And what I should be doing is stretching, especially before bed. So 10 minutes of stretching minimum. I want to read every day. I've been playing too many video games and I need to read every day. And again, I'm going to go minimum of 10 minutes on that. I was given a bunch of gift cards from my students. There's not a lot of research that's done on perimenopause and menopausal health in women, especially women who are active. But Dr. Stacy Sims has done a ton of research on these things, and she has 2 books, Next Level and Roar. So these are the books that I'm going to read in that time. I also picked up 101 essays that will change the way you think, and I've picked up Run Towards the Danger by Sarah Polly. The 101 essays are by Brianna West. So those are 4 books I want to read this year. But also I want to finish my Machu Picchu book. So 5 books that I want to finish this year. I'd like to read a minimum of 10 books this year. I love to read and I just haven't been doing it. I've been prioritizing watching TV, which is dumb. It's just dumb. No dairy. I have to break up with dairy. Dairy is one of the reasons why I'm coughing so much. And I know this for a fact because of testing and stuff that I've done. So it's time to break up with dairy. And listen, if my dad can quit smoking, he's been smoking since he was like 6 or 7, right? If he can quit smoking, I can break up with dairy. So no dairy moving forward. I'd like to post 1 short a day. I want to put up my Garmin stats weekly. It's helpful for me to see the data of how I'm improving on things. And so every Monday I want to record my Garmin stats. So specifically my heart rate, my resting heart rate, my body battery, my hill score, and my endurance score. And those are really, really important things for me. And then I also want to be in bed by midnight because I need to start getting better sleep again. I say bed by midnight because I work evenings. By the time I get home, sometimes it's 10 o'clock and then it just takes a while to wind down, but it doesn't mean lights off by midnight. I can be in bed by midnight and then do my 10 minutes of reading, you know what I'm saying? But I need to be in bed, no devices by midnight. There is a caveat to that. Sometimes at work, I'm at my one job, sometimes past midnight. So that's the only caveat there. But you have to give yourself grace in those moments because there are some things that are out of your control. So that's 75 hard. Like I say, for YouTube, I want to post 1 short a day. I want to get 52 long form videos out. I'd like to get 1,000 subscribers. I'd like to get my watch time up. And I think that's it. That's the year moving forward. Purging. I have so many clothes that I've just held on to that I haven't worn in years. I need to get rid of a bunch of those. I need to go through drawers. There's so many things. My storage locker in my building, like I haven't touched that thing since I moved in. I just keep putting things in it. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that I need to do before I redo my apartment. And purging the things. And I think that that's something I need to get into a habit of because you just end up collecting things that you don't necessarily need. And I have found that over the years, as I've gotten healthier mentally, I've been able to let more things go. So with my mental health, I find a lot of people who, I'm not saying I'm a hoarder, but I find a lot of people that do end up hoarding, they have something going on that's deeper. Right? It's not just a habit. It's not just something that they do for fun. It's something that gives them security and there's something there that helps calm them down. And I found that for myself over the last couple of years. I've realized that Like I say, as I've been working with my therapist and I've been moving through some of my PTSD, I've been able to let go of some things that I didn't think I ever would have been able to. And again, I'm not a hoarder, but there are things that are just really hard for me to let go of. I think I'm in the healthiest mental space that I have been in my life, and I'm definitely able to purge. And every year I found I've been able to let go of more and more things. So something that I wasn't necessarily able to let go of the last time I did a big purge, which was 3 years ago, let's be honest, when I moved into this new apartment, I could let go of now. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important for me to go through that stuff. That's the recap. That's the update. That's what's happening moving forward. And I'd love to hear from you. Do you make any New Year's plans, resolutions, goals? I like to think of them as goals as opposed to resolutions necessarily. Do you have any big plans for 2025? Do you just go into 2025 like, hey, it's just another day, ain't no thing, no big deal? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. And I'd love to hear if there's anything that you'd like to see me explore in Toronto. Is there a restaurant you've always wanted to check out? Is there an area of the city that you'd like to check out? Things like that. I'd love to know because I'm happy to do it. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to growing my channel, and I am so thankful for each and every one of you for being here with me on this crazy journey. We will go into 2025 together and just do all that we can to be the best people that we can. You know what I'm saying? All right. Make it a great day. Make it a great year. No matter what comes your way, I really hope that you're able to see some joy in all of it. Not the hard parts, but you're able to find joy within the hard bits. You know what I'm saying? Please like and subscribe and engage and comment, and I'll see you for the next one. Make it a great day.